lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards.
Swiping and tapping our cards and our apps are not just the easiest way to spend money, they're the safest way, unless, of course, we misplace our phones or our wallets, and then it's a nightmare. It is hard to misplace your hands, however.
It goes in stages first, so you can have it on your driver's license, you can have it on your card, but eventually it's going to end up in your hands.
Yes. It's happening now. It's present and the future. Because this is definitely the next step in technology.
What we found with our debit cards or credit cards is they've already now moved to the system, RFID. That is sort of the conditioning us in this direction. That in the future you'll just wave your hand because you've got the implant under your skin. Each step there's a rational reason. It's easier just to wave this, isn't it? The next rationalization would be, well, but you can lose your card, somebody can steal your card, and then you're just waving. That's kind of risky. Well, wouldn't it be nice if you couldn't lose it?
We've been taken along a very clear process to take us to that point.
There will undoubtedly always be a better technology available down the road. But it doesn't make sense to make the American public stand by and wait for an alternative while they remain susceptible to fraud. Perhaps someday mobile and biometric payment methods will be more prevalent. But traditional credit and debit cards still account for the overwhelming majority of all transactions in the United States today.
It wasn't long ago that this was the latest technology for small businesses. But with a host of major data breaches this past year, the federal government is finally catching up with the rest of the world by requiring banks and credit card companies to start using updated chip technology to prevent fraud. Come October 1st, small businesses will also have to make the change or be responsible for fraudulent charges.
There's one thing about shifting to a different technology that, protects from fraud. It's another thing that then assigning the business owner that if fraud does occur, that it's up to the business owner. So now what the banks are doing is they're saying, all right, look, we used to protect the card owner from fraud, and we used to eat that cost. Now they're going to pass that on to the small business owner.
Many local companies only recently learned about the new regulations and are just making the switch.
We now have a new system that includes a chip reader, and today is actually a first day that we're utilizing that system.
Well, from our perspective, to the degree we get people in the habit of using the card, when they tap to pay using the MTA every day, they'll use it for getting their coffee. They'll use it for paying for their dry cleaning. It will get them into the habit of using it. And cash is expensive, and it's a hassle to carry, and you got to go to the ATM to get it. If you can just get used to using your card, it's the best way to go.
And so for Visa, this is a way about getting people to use less cash really and use your card more.
Absolutely. I mean, for us, it's a very important initiative to try to make sure that people are using a card, which is a very secure way to go, versus just using cash and carrying a lot of cash.
All right, RFID, as you may know, is now converging with payment devices. We've got a couple 100 million RFID-enabled credit cards that have already been issued around the globe. What this means is that payment stations, what the industry calls POS or point-of-sale terminals, what we would call a cash register, are now being equipped all over the globe with the ability to, if someone were to choose to do this, to pay with simply a wave of your hand or just pressing your hand to the reader device. The technology is the same. The RFID in a credit card is essentially the same device that you can put into your right hand. So the infrastructure is being built in order to do this. When I say it's the same technology, it operates on a slightly different frequency. There's a couple of technical things that would need to be tweaked in order to retrofit this to accommodate an implantable. It could certainly be done.